You want me to do my terrible British impression for Edgeworth?
No. No. No.
Oi, why not,
No. No.
Order!
No.
Court is in session. Bailiff, from these papers I'm reading, it seems Mr. Williamson has requested a temporary leave.
That's correct, Your Honor. Oh, God.
Why don't you see a doctor?
What the fuck's a doctor?
Tryson's like, I know a good one.
I wouldn't trust you with my car keys.
I wouldn't either. Although he didn't state a reason. Are you aware of any?
Nothing I know of, sir.
Well, where's his replacement?
Here I am.
The trial was supposed to start at 10. She's...
Oh, no,
it's
don't
Francisco.
tell me it's on karma.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get whipped into shape, buddy. The trial was supposed to start at 10. She's late. There she is.
That's all you, buddy.
And right on time. I don't do female voices. Oh,
she's got longer hair.
That looks okay. Kinda.
I mean, it's basically just the same thing. They just added a bun on top.
Yeah, pretty much. Yvonne Karma is never late. She arrives precisely when she means to. Phoenix Wright, we meet again.
Francisca, you sound just like the gay man I've been talking to.
Shut up.
Fancy,
I don't have range.
Fancy meeting you here.
Fool. After all these years, that's how you greet me? There was only one prosecutor deserving of this case, and that was me.
Francisca von Karma, the daughter of one of my former rivals and a prosecuting prodigy. Rival? You fought him in a case! She's been overseas for the past few years working with Interpol.
Yeah.
Why am I saying all this out loud?
And in that case, I got fucking tased by that dude.
Help unravel a few big conspiracies. What are you doing back?
What am I doing here? I could ask you the same thing. You should have known better than to take a case like this.
I had my reasons. We can go over them later.
Fool, I don't need to hear your self-rationalizing. Why are you here, if I may ask?
Okay, so you'll answer him, but you won't answer me?
I was under the impression you were working with the international police these days. An Interpol agent was murdered recently. His killer confessed to having connection with organized crime. No death of an agent under my command will ever go unpunished.
Walter Webb, by any chance?
Agent Webb was investigating certain people based on accusations of corruption. Our informant Stephen Jameson has been found dead. This is no coincidence. You will be filling in for Mr. Williamson then, I take it? Well, that's why she's here.
Yeah.
Of course, the chief prosecutor personally assigned me to it.
He did he? Should I be thanking him, or...?
Now, the records state that there was some confusion on Jameson's death. Yes, the witness lied on the stand and I know what happened. We will deal with this demise if the need arises. With his demise. And the woman, we needn't speak of her at all.
Yay!
Today, I intend to cover the other victim, this Guildenstern. Ah, yes. Did they ever find out who he was? The prosecution apologizes for the delay. A quick ID was impossible.
It was the dude who was playing... Oh, no. Was it
Luckily,
really?
we had his DNA on file from a recent arrest. He was a criminal? Who? Who was he? It was the serial killer, Virgil Black. Oh, yeah, baby, he's here.
No, he's dead!
No. He's in the ground, but he's
Virgil
here.
Black.
In our hearts. You mean Sir Galante? He was believed to have escaped from police custody around a month ago. 2 guards were found dead in a black van.
In a black van!
It seems this was not the case. You look pale, Daddy.
Don't call me that. It's unnerving. 2 people dead, and I knew them both. It's almost like this is a video game. Virgil.
It's all coincidence.
Virgil Black. That was the last name I expected to hear in this case. Least of all as a victim. He's the whole reason I ever heard about the Ravalas family. I guess they weren't finished with him. Well, yeah, he killed Michael Ravalas! Do you think the same murderer was responsible?
There's no reason not to. In fact, this proves it. Before, there was no motive for Guildenstern. Now we have the perfect one. Revenge for the death of Michael Ravalas.
Perfect motive for your perfect case, you perfect bitch.
Ha! What else would you expect? I see there is no argument from you. Of course, we still suspect the defendant. Oh, Jesus. The prosecution will present this as proof of the defendant's motive. Let's see. I recognize this. Mr. Wright, haven't we seen this before?
Yeah, it was about freaking 6 months ago at this point. This is the same list from the Ravalas penthouse.
You're right, it is. Imagine that.
Small world!
Small world. Sir Galante is listed on here as a target. It's clear they wanted him dead even before he took his final victim. Now, let's hear how Mr. Black was killed.
He was hit in the face several times with a shovel.
I'm glad you asked. We have the police coroner give us the full we'll have the police coroner give us the full details.
Oh fuck, it's my turn!
Huh? Yeah.
That didn't look right.
That didn't look like Dryson. Witness, you've been called in to speak more about the victim. That did not look like...
Dr. Morton Drayson, sir! Don't worry about my back sprite, it's still under construction. I'm the police coroner you speak of.
Like that motherfucker had hair. He looked like a tiny Jimmy. You autopsied Black, correct?
Certainly, sir. Nobody else is qualified to testify on a month-old corpse. I have several of them in my basement.
Whip crack, it's ma'am. I imagine decomposition made matters a bit tricky. Yeah, but he's different.
That it did!
I want Gumshoe back.
He was in a case? But no matter, Your Honor, sir. Nothing the wonders of forensic science couldn't handle. Let's bring in Emma Skye.
Oh man, that would be great. Oh, sounds confusing. My old mind might not be able to comprehend the process. Of course, if it pleases Your Honor, we will try to keep things simple.
Yes, I suppose I could just focus on the autopsy report. Why don't we start with that?
The specimen.
My calculations put the death at, roughly 30 days ago.
Jesus.
He'd been stabbed, though the wound would not have been fatal. Cause of death was strangulation from a thick rectangular object, source yet unknown.
Fuck?
After that, he was buried in the ground where he remained until just the other day. The science of DNA testing, he is freaking Emma.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's proven that he was indeed Virgil Black. Eureka!
I want Emma back.
I want Edgeworth after that Eureka.
He was stabbed in addition to being strangled.
Somebody didn't seem to like this guy.
Do you know roughly when that happened?
Hard to say, though the amount of blood in his lungs suggests he lived for quite some time.
Oh, Jesus.
He was certainly stabbed a while before he was throttled.
Ooh. I don't like that wording. There must have been some sort of altercation beforehand. I would presume it was when he was kidnapped from the police. How horrid. Thank you for your report. Straight to the point. I like that. I like that in a man. I like your bald head too. I have one too.
I made sure to include all the necessary details. Prosecutor Von Karma was quite pleased. Also, thank you for the compliments. Did we get anything new in the court record?
You did well, Doctor. We appreciate your effort. Start with the attorney's badge. Got the hit list. Jameson's autopsy, which we already did that. Hood's injury.
What was the whole point of the freaking Obadiah thing?
We got Carlo.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, we already had her, though.
Demon. And
we have Virgil.
Captain Afro.
Why did they just add a bun to her? It's such a weird thing to add. Just a random
ponytail on the back of her head.
It's like, you know what would make her even better?
I mean, I like longer hair, but still. This time of death is rather specific for a month-old body. Can you be that precise? Oh, the wonders of science, yes. It was quite complicated and involved in analysis of the moisture rate of decomposition and the acidity of...
We don't need the technical details, thank you. His report explains everything. The victim's identity, cause of death, and the approximate time of death. Your Honor, it will be submitted immediately.
Wait, is she supposed to whip and then do that?
Yes.
Okay then, thank you, Your Honor. Let's look at the court. Let's look at the thing.
Not much to argue with here. Evidenced. Victim was killed on September 9th of this year. Cause of death appears to have been strangulation.
Why are you Meredith?
Already been stabbed in the left lung. The specimen was then buried underground where the moist soil sped up decomposition.
Seriously, that was Meredith. Why?
She's just in his head.
In his head. It's
zombie again.
It's just the basic facts, so we should treat it like a detective's testimony. We still don't know much about what went on with Black. Now might be a good chance to get some more answers. Let's start!
Calculations for
death. I was reading! How did you arrive at that number?
What the fuck that voice was?
I was reading! My forensics, of course! You see, there are a number of variables that would go into the rate of decomposition. Temperature, acidity of the soil, dampness, etc., etc., etc. All leading to one conclusion.
The fuck?
30
Why
days.
are you rolling your...
Give or take a few hours. What?
Why are you rolling your arms?
The acidity! Recreation! Wow, I never would have guessed the results could be that accurate. Yes, sir. Science is always moving forward. Progressing into us as what? Progressing us into the future.
Progressing into us. I don't like that. If it pleases the defense, we have a separate witness who backs the number up. It happened when the doctor says it did.
If the testimonies match up, there's not much to press here. It's probably safe to assume he was killed 30 days ago. How did he die?
I died.
I died!
do. What happened?
Where was he stabbed?
In the fucking heart.
In the cock! It was in the orbital
No.
zone! The blade
Please, no.
nearly missed the aorta!
For those of us who didn't do well in human biology, what exactly is that?
The cock!
Oh! Oh, like that. It's a very large artery. Getting stabbed there would be akin to getting stabbed in the heart. Mr. Black would have died almost instantly if the blade had connected with it.
Cock! But it didn't. So nothing vital was damaged?
Not the cock. It wasn't.
The cock is very vital, sir! Don't misunderstand me. A stab there would incapacitate any person, even if not fatal.
Oh, God. Any person.
You know, the lady cock.
Yeah, the feminine penis. It's not gay.
I imagine the blood loss and pain would have rendered the specimen unconscious. Then he woke up later and his attacker realized the mistake. And how do we know that? The cause of death, you see! Mr. Black wasn't killed by a stab wound.
It was done in by something rectangular.
The cause was strangulation by a thick cock. How thick was it? About 2 inches. Oh, well, that's a relative term. Bigger than a wire, definitely. It wasn't a garrote.
Needle dick.
I'd say around 4 centimeters. It's under 2 inches. I was right! After Rottweiler, not a pair of hands. What else was available? You're not helping me, Phoenix. Once the killer strangled him, what did he do?
You just keep getting dug deeper and deeper. I don't understand.
After that, he was fuck you. You're sure the body never left the pit? Well, I would assume so. Surely somebody would have reported the body otherwise. And I do not believe the killer would dig him up just to rebury him in the same spot. Logically speaking, there isn't much reason to assume it left the grave. It. Oh, yes, sir. I was just getting to the identity. Let me continue. How precise is DNA testing? 98.2. Oh, it's quite accurate, I assure you. No doubting it.
Black had been recently arrested. We have an entire set of data on him. Thanks to that, there is very little doubt that Guildenstern was with him.
Was with him? Yes, sir. His DNA matched right up.
Beautiful theatrics.
Why was he with him? We can compare the dental records as well if you'd like. DNA will do.
There isn't anything setting off any red flags for me.
There isn't a whole lot to question. These are just the basic facts.
Sounds right. Kind of like the testimonies Mr. Waters would give.
In that case, there'll be a huge contradiction up the wazoo.
I'm telling him you said that.
Am I the only one not allowed to make jokes at other people's expense?
Yes. Okay.
For calculations!
Had been stabbed through the wound, though the wound would not have been fatal. Strangulation from a thick rectangular object.
Do we have any rectangular objects?
No. I got bottles.
You have a
Got a lot
shovel?
of bottles. A shovel.
Shovel's a spade. Would that count as a rectangle?
Maybe. That kind of looks like a rectangle, you know?
Check it.
I can't do anything.
Sweet 3D model.
Yeah. Nice blood splatter.
I don't know. Present! Oh, you'd know
Present it.
balls.
No balls. He'd stabbed him through the wound. Would not have been fatal.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
really the only freaking murder weapon we have.
Apparently.
Throw
Okay.
the card at him.
The card.
I just
It was
had
D-Killer.
That's the rectangular object. I just had an interesting thought. No, he just beat him over the head with a friggin' wiretap. I just had an interesting thought.
It's like that one guy in X-Men. What is it? Ace?
I don't
or
know.
some shit. He
Never
uses
seen it.
cards to flick.
Oh, so he's a Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, he's a Yu-Gi-Oh.
What if the murder weapon was the same in both cases?
The shovel.
It's not a thing you'd normally strangle somebody with. But take a closer look at the shape of the handle. How can we tell? Yeah, it's rounded. What? It's thick. It's rounded. And most importantly...
Ah! From that angle, it's shaped like a rectangle.
Yeah, okay.
What? What?
That's kind of stretching it.
Yeah?
It matches the
You would-
bruises that Mr. Black had on his... How would you know?
That's not how that works.
You didn't see any pictures.
No, but that's not how it works, though. Fool, who strangles a man with a shovel? Didn't Jameson's death show there's a much more efficient way to commit murder with one?
That way is also more dramatic and messier and noisier, too. Mr. Black had already been stabbed in the chest and wasn't going anywhere fast. The killer could kill him more quietly by strangling him instead.
Well then, Phoenix Wright, I happen to have the fingerprint reports on hand. Do you think you can prove somebody used it as a weapon before Jameson's death? Fingerprints?
Yeah.
Wait. What's that big? This,
Yeah, I don't know
it's
what
darker.
that is.
Nope.
Well, it's nothing important. Take a look here!
Hi. Well, I'm sorry, I don't think I see anything.
You don't?
I clearly see something, though. No,
I
I'm
assume it
sorry.
looks like handprints, dude. The finger.
I'll have to penalize you. Sounds so regretful for him.
I must be on the wrong track. I
You
assume
think you can prove
it's
it?
fingerprints?
I think it was that.
We don't even know what that is.
That? Apparently.
Look closely at how the prints are positioned. 2 sets in particular. These 2 handprints are under the bloodstain. The shovel must have been held before Mr. Jameson's murder.
Fool! The suspect owned it. Of course he'd carried it before.
What
Shut
was that?
up, computer.
Did you unplug something?
Telling... No. Computer thinks I did.
Look at how the fingers are pointing. They're facing the same way. This isn't the way you'd hold a shovel to use it normally. Francisco, would you please hold your hands out like you were going to dig a hole?
But that would mean I would have to let go of my whip.
Nah, you could just hold it. Like a shovel. This way would
I
be
don't know.
really uncomfortable, wouldn't it?
I don't know how to hold a shovel.
But it would be perfectly easy to strangle somebody.
I've dug my cases into the ground numerous times.
Shot right there. Out of context.
Send it to that one Twitter account.
Your Honor, we need to have the shovel's handle analyzed further. I said analyzed, but then I decided to just change it to analyzed.
Yes! We'll have it sent back and see what they find. That's not... It's not, no. Bailiff, what are the results?
Oh God, please help me! The shovel was analyzed as requested, sir. We have a form art here.
You know what? Bailiff has been seeing a lot more screen time. Well, not screen time, but you know what I mean. We've been hearing his voice an awful lot. I think he needs to get like an Emmy or some shit. Thank you. Miss Von Karma, would you read it for us? Traces of Virgil Black's DNA were found on the handle opposite the prints. Aha! Mr. Wright was, well, right. It appears so.
Yeep! Don't look at me! It's my job to examine bodies, not evidence. The prints must have been skipped the first time when they saw the bloodstain. It just comes
What is
out,
that report?
It just comes out every now and then.
Yeah. What does the report say about the new handprints? Unidentifiable, Your Honor. It wouldn't be possible to identify the killer from them. Ah, no, it wouldn't.
Drat! That didn't help much.
In fact, that was used, in fact, that it was used twice more or less points directly to the suspect. I'm not doing that over. How could anybody else have stolen it twice without his knowing?
That didn't help me at all!
Oh, well. We're digging our own grave, Phoenix. Shall we return to our motive? We barely got started on that.
Oh yes, leave it to me. Morton Dryson has you covered. I am your wings.
What?
Yes, the motive was the same as it was for the other. A mafia assassination. You see, the specimen had been involved in, shall we say, mass murder. The Rivales family had been his victims, so they wanted to get back at him. And there you have it, sir. The man responsible for that list was tying up loose ends. Oh, God.
Are you lightheaded again?
Very much. This seems like detective work. Should you be the one testifying? It's perhaps not what you'd call my area of expertise, sir. But I've said exactly what Mr. Waters or the lady prosecutor would have. The story will be the same no matter who it's delivered by.
What he said, the prosecution has no fault with the doctor testifying on the motive. Neither should you.
Exactly! We are still talking about the specimen, aren't we? I hope you won't take offense with my continuing, Mr. Kickatrice.
What? Mr. Who?
No, it's Doctor Who! Why, Mr. Kickatrice, the defense.
The who?
No, that's a shit band!
Oh!
He means me. See, that's what it
Foolish
should
fool!
be.
Yeah. Foolish fool, you can't even get his name right. Oh god, oh god. He likes that.
Great Scott, sir! It was a simple mistake!
Dryson, you've known our name. We've told you every time. Phoenix Wright. Say it with me. Phoenix Wright. Jeez. Okay.
Yeah, Phoenix Wright, sir! Phoenix Wright!
This is the most anybody's ever called out Phoenix's name.
Marvel Kickatrice!
By Jove, I think I've got it now.
By Jove, I think I've got it now!
Oh.
She seems more irked about it than I am.
Are they just going to try to go all in on Francisca liking Phoenix?
Phoenix Senpai. At least I'm not the one on the receiving end of that whip. This motive, the motive was the same as the other. Yeah.
I hope Francisca comes back for the Switch game.
Do we know for a fact Mr. Jameson was? One of my lights just went out and it scared the shit out of me. I thought the electricity was flickering or something.
We got spooky shit happening, man.
I've had this
We got
freaking light bulb in there for less than a month!
We got really spooky shit going on.
Do we know for a fact that Mr. Jackson was killed as a hit job?
Garcon's got a ghost after him.
It makes sense, does it not? Especially now that we've ID'd Mr. Guildenstern! Can't make that conclusion based on a card from the suspect's house.
My, aren't we picky today? Let's say Jameson was killed for some other reason. That evidence overwhelmingly suggests that Mr. Black was a hit job. And for the current discussion, that is more important.
Yes, that's correct, sir. Let me talk.
You want to get whipped again, boy?
Sure. You can call it that.
Why not?
Just using that hit list as the proof for a motive? Or that the motive? You gotta use that there hit list as the motive!
It's a combination of a murder and a motive. Silly man, Phoenix Wright. Of course the Rivales family wanted Sir Galante dead.
Name is Orville
Did you-
Kickatrice.
Did you forget what we'd done to them? Let's face it, out of everybody in the world, they would have they would have the most reason to hate him.
You're in freaking Star Fox. She's correct. There's not much point in questioning it. Can't see any reason to at the moment. Let's just accept it for now. I'm glad you agree, Phoenix Wright! It does make perfect sense, Phoenix Wright!
He did. He did it.
Now he's using my full name too?
You have to use a little bit more venom, Dryson. Phoenix Wright. You gotta hit that T hard. Like, bang!
Rivala's family were victims.
Smack it with... Rivala's family was the victims.
I guess all that superheroing came back to bite him, huh?
Well, no shit.
Well, if you call slaughtering upwards of 20 people with a sword being a superhero, then yes!
A superhero? Of course it's not. He was a murderous brute. That's pretty cold-blooded. I'd say it's more anti-hero territory.
Really, Trucy?
She likes them comic books, don't worry. Let's not forget what he did to the witness stand. Yeah, remember? He just broke that shit.
He's no better than Batman. I think you're all missing my point.
Nope, we got that point just perfectly, man.
And there you have it, sir! Loose ends. Ah, well, he was the last one on their list, correct? They never got to him.
That was like a Virgil mixed with Hood. Like, Hood just decided to get high.
They being the Rivala's family.
By he decided, I mean his daughter drugged him up.
His daughter probably bit his shoulder.
Good lord.
Well, I suppose it must be them. Or the individual assassin who killed the rest, more specifically.
I like how you're going for it.
So, all of these people were killed by the same person?
Yes. Phoenix. Didn't Miss Porter say something about an assassin?
Well, that is finally called my sister! They could take us, but now I know where to go!
I don't remember her screaming that.
I gotta yell so you can hear me through the glass! Oh no, that was a shot at them instead of else!
God damn it. I can't understand a word you're saying. Remove your hand from your mouth. Remove your hand from your mouth.
I want this to be over!
Francisca said we
killer
wouldn't have to hear
sister.
from her.
Water's wife! We just did the lion, bitch! An assassin who was betrayed by Michael Rafales.
I didn't hear your ass because your hand was over your mouth.
It can't just be a coincidence.
The motive is that he was killed for being Sir Galante. Seems pretty good, actually.
Yeah, as far as motives go, it's kind of perfect, eh?
Canadian now. Maybe we just need to find a way to distance Mr. Saren from it.
Serious face. Stop hitting the mic.
I mean, unless you really think he killed the people in that idless, eh?
Might be something to see, but
I'm not hitting my mic.
again, it's almost too easy. Francisco will have a response to it. I'm afraid to find out. Yes, the murder was the same as for the other, a mafia assassination. We already read this.
Did we? Yeah, okay. Objection!
Objection!
Okay.
Specimen house.
Well, same as it was for the other mafia assassin. You see a Batman but the man murder.
Okay.
Both family
I
have been
walked
victim.
5 miles.
I would walk 500 miles and I would.
It There you have it, sir. The man responsible for that list was tying up loose ends. Well, let's look at the list.
Present that
No,
list.
don't present it. Let's look at it.
Present that list.
Send Parker
These
beforehand.
people.
It doesn't work. Okay.
We got Catherine Yan, Cat, Tony Kent, Albert Hawking, big luscious lips, Sandra Watts, Charles Locke,
Frankness.
Leroy Jenkins, and Sir Galante, but he's not crossed out.
Well, yeah, because we have the list.
Yeah,
It's been
Okay.
in police custody since the second case.
yeah. Well, they should have just crossed it out once they figured it out.
Okay.
Come on, finish the job.
There you have it, sir. The man responsible for that list was but the man responsible for that list was Luciano, and he's dead. Present Luciano.
was. Okay. Luciano. Carlo.
Doctor, this assassin, was he Carlo Luciano by any chance?
That bitch is dead, motherfucker.
God, yes, you are correct! It seems odd to me that you would know about that man. I had a lengthy discussion about MN6 yesterday. I know who Luciano was and what he did. He was the Rivales family's top assassin.
Then you also know that Luciano is dead, cremated. He has been for years. Did you just press this to remind the rest of us?
The hits on that list were all made by Luciano.
Are you okay, Phoenix Wright?
Not particularly.
Are you dying?
Are you trying to say he, the man responsible, somehow also killed Virgil Black?
Oh, God.
Yak! Yak!
Okay,
Elk!
Fool, you thought I would be foolish enough to say that?
Dryson is.
Listen to me, Phoenix Wright. The assassin who killed those people is dead. But there were others involved with the planning. Such as the defendant. Oh, okay. Okay.
He was shot!
The first reaction we've ever gotten out of him. What? Okay, why did you run up to the bench? What? That's right. Records seized from Michael Rivales' penthouse suggest you were complicit. Stupid dame. I knew, but that's all. Just about everyone knew. Working this business, you have to know.
Mr. Yossarian, you don't have to speak about any of this.
Yeah? What do you care? This is why you brought up Luciano, isn't it?
What?
Well, isn't it? Williamson may as well still be at the bench. Listen, all of you. Knowing doesn't make it complicit. When Michael Rivales ordered something, you didn't question it. Don't play the fool with me. You were his trusted officer. Didn't make a lick of difference. He would have killed me like anyone else if he got the chance. You had knowledge of the murders. Admit it.
He just said he did!
At best, that makes you an accessory, and at worst... To dag-nabbit. You don't have any proof. You can't. They would have destroyed it long ago. Are you worried yet?
I'll admit, I'm a lot more ready to side with Francisco over him.
He even tried to call you out. Can't you see? He was worried you'd bring that up.
It's not my goal to dig up all the skeletons in his closet. But neither do I want to be defending the mastermind to all those deaths. Is Francisco right about him? Remember, I'm here for D. Killer. I still don't know what he has to do with any of this.
I'd say this is a sufficient motive. The accomplice or not, he still worked with the family. What is the prosecution's next argument? We have only one, Your Honor, to prove he's the killer. Let me connect both cases for you. Both Jameson and Black were slain by the same hand. I will show just this.